Hello and welcome. So today we're going to be looking at Life Makeover, and there are two things that I want to talk about, and that is the difference between the promotional graphics and the in-game graphics. Gaming companies are notorious for promoting their games using like cutscenes and stuff like that. And then when you get in game, the in game graphics are much worse than the promotional material would lead you to believe. And so we're going to take a look at that. And then, secondly, I want to talk about the similarities between the Nikki games and Life Makeover. So, those are the two things we're going to talk about today. So, let's start by comparing graphics. So, with the promotional graphics, the avatar that they're using in the graphics is the actual in-game avatar, which is very cool. Very cool. So this is the avatar that you will see in game. What is different is this beautiful lighting and these lovely backgrounds. They don't have those in game yet. Now the game is in its infancy. It's just a soft launch, this first server in Malaysia and Singapore, and it's very buggy. It crashes all the time. There's bugs. There are a lot of bugs still in it. And so it is a baby game. So hopefully in time we will get more lighting options as well as more background options. But the avatar, this is the avatar that's in game, which is very cool. The other difference is we're going to go look at the animated promotional material. And the difference there is in the animated material, her movement is much smoother than in game. She's a little more awkward. It's not a lot more awkward, but it's definitely it's a little more awkward, her movement. So, before we head over to look at the animated material, I grabbed, these are just screenshots. These are the loading screens in the game. But if you would like to see, here you can see as a 13% bottom right loading, and here you can see the loading bar at the bottom. But they make great backgrounds for a phone. Here, I'll show you. This is my phone right now. I'll put these up on my website, and I will put a link in the description if you'd like to go download these and use them as a background on your phone. All right, so let's take a look at the animated material, promotional material. We're not going to look at their YouTube because it's horizontal, my phone's vertical, but they have beautiful movies advertising the sets on their YouTube channel. And then what's going to be easiest for us to look at is the loading screen, or the kind of, I guess, the lobby screen of the actual game, and then we can see the animated movements. For the promotional material, is much smoother than what we're going to see in game. In game, it's a little more awkward. So let's launch the game. One of the ways they made her, oh, there's our girl. Isn't she lovely? But as you see, we don't have that just beautiful lighting, and we don't have a lovely background. They have given us backgrounds, but we can only see them inside the dressing room, which in this place is called the wardrobe. It's in the bottom, the very bottom. Wardrobe is dressing room. And but we don't have any kind of lighting options anywhere, and we don't have other background options for our main screen. So hopefully those will come in time. This is just a tiny baby game, and as it matures, hopefully we'll get those quality of life updates or those features added. And as you can see, if you press on the screen, she just hangs around kind of an awkward, lazy T-pose. But when you click on the screen, she'll interact with you. Come on, I'm clicking. There she goes. And her interactions, her movement is not quite as smooth. Although when I was watching the video, I did notice that what they did is they put her in slow motion all the time. And by putting her in slow motion, I don't think you can, made it look a little bit smoother. I'm clicking on the screen to try to get her. There she goes. She has several different, random animations she can go through when you click on the screen. All right, so that's the first thing I want to talk about, is what we see in the advertisements and what we get in game. I'm trying to get her to react again, clicking on the screen. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is the similarities between the Nikki games and between Life Makeover. And that's because this game has a lot. It is, and they just throw you in the deep end. They don't like there's tutorials, but they're very brief. They're not in depth. And instead of kind of slowly bringing you into the water and letting you get used to it, you're really thrown in the deep end, and it can be overwhelming. But we're coming from the Nikkiverse, and we have seen this all before. It has different names. It is slightly different UI. It's in different places, but a good 60 or 70, like 65% of this we have seen. And so it's like, you just think of it like if you taken your Nikki game and you had skinned it, you put a skin over the top. And so the names are different, the thumbnails are different, but the gameplay is the same, the strategies are the same, and the purposes of all these different features are the same. You just have to learn the names and where they are. But we've already been here. We know this. And so let's just take a look at some of those. So I just don't want you to, the first time you play this, don't feel overwhelmed by all there is, because there is some new stuff that is confusing. For example, the design room, bottom left. If we go into the brand design studio, it's so cool. You can make your own clothes. It is awesome, but I don't really know how to do it. I've never seen this before in any other game. It's a very cool feature, but we're going to have to learn it from scratch. So it's good that we know so much already. Let's use the knowledge we have so we can jump into the game and not completely be out of our depth. Now, the easiest way to talk about what's similar, and then we'll look at some other stuff, is let's look at there at the very top. Those are all the same. For the pink heart, that is clearly stamina, but what it's called in this game is energy. Same thing, same mechanic. And just like in the Nikki games, you want that always ticking. It's one stamina or one energy per 5 minutes. That's even the same. Then we have our gold. We're used to that. We go over one more where it says 0. That's the premium currency. I don't know the name for it. I can't find it. It's around here somewhere. I call it the 4-leaf clover. That's not what it's called. We'll figure out its name eventually. But that's the premium currency. That's basically the purple gems. That currency is not available anywhere in game. You cannot get it in game. You can only get that currency with actual cash. We go one more over, and we've got purple gems. That is a secondary currency. That's like our pink gems. And so these are all the same, and the strategies for using them are the same. If you go to the left there, the upper left-hand corner, that's our profile picture. We're used to that. And when you look at inventory, there's my name right next to it says inventory. That's the same. We've seen all this. Okay, this is where it can get confusing, but it's not confusing. You just have to, like I said, you've skinned your Nikki game. That's all you've done. Go straight under the profile picture. You see bonus. This is events. It even has tabs. There's our sign-in. This is our stamina. This is where we pick up our stamina twice a day. But they call it energies, where you pick up your energy twice a day. And then freshman, here's an event. This event ends in 7 days. It's a time-limited event that will end. So it even has tabs on the top. So that's all that is. And then the mall is our store, although they have several different places, several different stores scattered around. Oh, and also in the mall, check this out. We go to fashion code. That's our fashion project. Exactly the same. We have our basic code is what you get for not spending any money. And the elite code is you get the outfit and you get more. You get the purple gems if you spend $10. Even the price is the same. And then here's our top up. And just like the other one, on your first top up, you know how you in Shiny Nikki, the first top up you get the premium currency, which is the purple gems. On the first top up they also give you pink gems. It's the same thing. You get your premium 4-leaf clover, whatever the heck it's called. What is that called? I have no idea what that's called. Anyways, and then on the first top up you get the secondary currency, which in this case is those purple diamonds. We're used to all of this. The exhibition, we go one down. That's kind of like, that's temporary. It goes on for 35 days, I think it is. 35 days. And then my guess is that's going to disappear. Just like we have our midsummer event going on right now, and it has its own special entrance, its own special button. I'm thinking exhibition will disappear. I could be wrong. Maybe it'll go on for another 35 days, but it looks like kind of, beginner gifts is what it looks like to me. So we've seen it all. We've seen all of this. Now there's also some Love Nikki gameplay going on in here. So on the right hand is Shining Journey. We're going to go down into that. That's how we get into our story levels. And then if we look at Story Quest, where that's our story levels, and look in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Hard and Normal. Those are Maiden and Princess levels, and they are exactly the same when it comes to gameplay and strategy. So let's head over to Chapter 5. Well, I guess we can say in Chapter 6, because I'm still working on the Clear Stage 2-4. They've changed it. So up to Chapter 5, you had to complete a chapter suit, and so the chapter suit is just like we've seen before. Okay, let's do design. Oh, it just says completed. Okay, let's go to chapter 6. I'm working on a suit piece right now. Okay, so you see where it says dress, 6-4 dress, and then right underneath it says must. This is a required piece to pass the level, which I don't have. I'm working on it. Let's click on that one. Let's go. And this is what we're used to. This is, you go to this clothing store to buy that. These are your normal levels. And these are your princess levels. These are your hard levels. And just like there's a time gating mechanic, and just like your princess levels in Love Nikki, you only get 3 tries. Let's click on go. As you see, I've already used my challenges left right above the raid button. Challenges left 0 of 3. You get 3 challenges a day on your princess levels, on your hard levels. If I click on raid, I can buy another chance for the secondary currency, the purple diamonds. I can buy another chance, but I'm not going to do that because I am free to play, 100% free to play on this one, because we'll get to that in a little bit when we start talking about the different regional servers. So it's a time gating device, and so if you've played Love Nikki, you know that this is a time gating device they use when you try to progress through the story levels, and that you have to make sure to do your princess levels every day to get the suit pieces that you need to progress through the chapter. And so you make sure to go get those 3 princess levels, and this is exactly the same. We've already seen this in Love Nikki, but instead of being called Maiden and Princess, it's called Normal and Hard. Exactly the same. There's no difference other than the name. The purpose of it being a time gating mechanic is the same, and the strategy is the same. Make sure to do your princess levels that day so you can progress through the chapter. So another thing I want to show you is talking about this is just kind of a skinned Nikki game, is that sometimes it can look very different, but it's still the same. So what we're going to look at is we're going to go to in Shining Journey again. We're going to go over there where the blue flowers are, the endorsement queen. What that is the Colors magazine, although it's going to look completely different. So let's go into endorsement queen. And you're like, that doesn't look like Colors magazine. It's Colors magazine in that it tests an attribute, and the test gets harder and harder and harder. And as you pass the different levels, you get the rewards. The rewards are different. In this case, the rewards go towards the housing feature where the home is, where your home is. Whereas in Colors magazine, you get clothing and you get, mats and stuff like that. This gives you currency to purchase new homes and purchase items for your home, stuff like that. But let's go into sewn block there. And I'm going to do claim all. It's going to pick up the coins. That's your reward. The farther you've progressed, the more coins you get, and then you can buy better homes. And if we look around, you can see the progression. So we have 1-1, 1-2, then 1-3 is over here. And you can see the first level is just a single crown, and then the second level you have to get 2 crowns. If we go to 2-3 here, I haven't been able to get the second crown. So as you see, I was able to get the first crown because I can get 353,000, but that's not enough for the second crown. So it's just the same thing as your Colors magazine. You're testing an attribute. The levels are getting harder and harder. You get better rewards as you move up the levels. And you dress up. That's the same. So I'm going to click on endorsement. And this is we're used to this. So this is if you look at the top there, this is for the cool attribute. So there's no automatic dress up, by the way. You have to search on everything through all the different levels. And then you dress her. I'm not going to dress her all the way, but you dress your girl up. And what I wanted to show you, although we're not going to do it because I would fail, you go ahead and, oh my gosh, by the way, if you miss those ridiculous Momo outfits from Love Nikki, which I did, by the way, we got to Shining Nikki and you were only allowed 5 accessories, and so wasn't the crazy Momo-ness going on. Oh my gosh, you'll be so happy that that exists in this game. There's some stupid outfits because you put on all the accessories and it looks ridiculous and it's awesome and I love it. I can't believe I actually missed that from Love Nikki. But yes, the crazy stupid outfits where you're wearing every possible accessory to get the highest score, we got that back in 3D. I'm very excited about that. I love it. So anyways, if you click next step, you have to pick an ally. This is just your reflections. That's all this is. If you do quick deploy, the game figures out which reflection is your best choice for this attribute. But these are just reflections, and just like reflections, you need to upgrade them, and I think you also evolve them even, and you get a different picture. So these are reflections. We're used to all of this. Now I'm not going to do it because I would lose. But anyway, so this is just Colors Magazine, and the reward within this area. It looks. The reason I want to show it to you is because it looks completely different, and you're like, this is not Colors Magazine. It absolutely is. The gameplay is exactly the same. It's just the graphics are different, and actually the rewards are different. You don't get clothes. You get acorns. That's the currency for the home. So, but this is Colors Magazine. So that's why when you start playing through the game, and we'll talk about this more as the game gets closer to launch, for global launch, but this is you're used to so much of this gameplay. It's just been skinned. That's all. Now there is a good 35% of this. For example, we're going to go to daily missions there in the top right. Now, if you've played Warcraft, you're like, oh, I know what this is. It's where you send your allies out to do missions. This is a mechanic used in Warcraft, but we haven't seen it in the Nikki games. Now, if you're coming from Warcraft, you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I got this. But this is new for Nikki players. So there is a lot of new stuff that we haven't done yet. But when you first start playing the game, don't be too overwhelmed, because coming from the Nikkiverse, you've got like 65% of this down. You're golden on 65% of this. For example, let's go to underneath photo on the right. We're going to go to schedule. This is our daily. These are our daily, getting our daily activity done. The difference is they do have a weekly activity that accumulates over the week. So much of this is similar to Nikki. Oh, a lot of this is similar to. We went over Princess and. Didn't we? What time is it? I'm sorry. I've been going over this in my head, and I can't remember what I've talked about when I haven't. Should be following notes. I should have wrote notes. So the other thing I want to talk about really quickly is the fact that I am free to play. I cannot spend money in this game. I have tried, and it's been kicked back on me because when I try to use my credit card or PayPal, it says you don't live in Malaysia, and it declines it. So when the global server launches, I will definitely be making this my home server. And they're doing several servers, several localizations. They are going to be doing a mainland China server, a Japanese server, a global server. So my guess is, I'm sure that it's not just Westerners that have VPN'd into Malaysia and Singapore to play this. I'm sure there's Japanese people that have, and there's Chinese people that have. And we know when the Japanese server opens, my guess is the Japanese people that have come over here and started playing on this server, they're going to head back home and get on their home server. That's certainly what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch to the global server. That's going to become my home server when it launches. So I expect this server to slowly thin out as the other servers launch. Right now, I'm sure it's crowded, like so many people VPN'd, and that's just the English speakers I know. What about, like I said, in China, the people there that are like, oh my gosh, let's VPN in there and do it. And the people in Japan going, oh yeah, let's do that. because it's just too exciting. You want to play it now. But by being free to play, I will be able to give y'all a very good idea of what the free to play experience is going to be like, because I'm 100% free to play. I haven't spent one penny because I can't. And so I can tell you right now, at the beginning, the early game, it's very free to play friendly. So if we go to wardrobe, by the way, is the dressing room. So let's go to wardrobe and we can look at the sets I've already got. Oh, that's a custom outfit. There we go. I think this one was a chapter suit. This one was definitely a chapter suit. Some of these were beginner gifts. Like, I think this might have been a beginner gift. And this one, oh, you get suits for leveling up. This was a gift for leveling up the suit. So these are just the suits. So like if we go and just look at the wardrobe that I've got. Let's look at the hair. That came out of the permanent pav. Okay, and the hair is just beautiful. So these are the different hair I've got. Some of these came out of pav drops. I only used the tickets. I cannot remember. Did we talk about the pavilion? I don't think we've talked about the pavilion. Everybody loves a messy bun. And their dying game, oh my gosh. It's insane. It's so good. Shiny Nikki has some catching up to do. So anyways, so that's just the hair. So free to play, you get lots of really wonderful things. As you can imagine, let's go look at the permanent pav. In the lower right hand corner, light chase, that's the permanent pav. And it's a diamond pav and a gold pav. So when you click off auto buy, you use the tickets. They're very stingy with the tickets, as you can imagine. And then if you click on auto buy, then you can see it's the premium currency. So this is a diamond pav. There are 2 diamond pavs. And then here's our gold pav. If I turn off auto buy, you can see it's tickets. And then you can use gold on the gold pav. These look like permanent pavs, and we have definitely seen some Love Nikki game mechanics. I don't think that one of these is because the way that Shiny Nikki does it is they have a rotating pav. Well, Love Nikki, they would add permanent pavs, like they would add a new pav, and so there'd be like 5 pavs, 6 pavs. My guess is that they're going to go more the Love Nikki way and add permanent pavs. I could be wrong, we could see, but I just don't see anything in their promotional material saying that this is, or anything in the tutorial saying that any of this is a rotating pav. One of these is a rotating pav. So if they do add pavs as permanent pavs, that's what Love Nikki does. They will add a permanent pav. But right now there are 2 diamond and 1 gold permanent pavs. There's 3 permanent pavs, and they're just called Light Chase, bottom right. Like I said, you've just skinned your Nikki game. All right, so we've talked about free to play. Oh, also I want to say about free to play, of course, early game, they're just going to be throwing stuff at you. So please play our game. Please play our game. The big question is going to become as we get into the regular game play and out of the early gameplay, and see if they continue to be free to play friendly. A free to play player base is super important for the game. I found this in the Nikki games. It creates a very healthy community. Very, very healthy community. You have subreddits, you have Discord servers, you have people creating spreadsheets and guides, and there's a lot of buzz and talk. And to do that, you have to have all the different tiers. You have to have free to play, and you have to have minnow and dolphin and whale and leviathan. You need all of them because you got the dolphins and the whales and the leviathans. You know, they have, so you put some of the assets just out of reach, like you have to pay for them. And that is so the company stays afloat and they make money. And so you've got the dolphins, whales, and leviathans paying that money, making sure the company's afloat. Those assets have to be paid for. But then you still give lots of assets away for free, or they're easier to get to, and that by doing that, the company creates a very robust, exciting community. It also creates buzz. They get free marketing because they got YouTubers like me, and there's lots of YouTubers that start doing this. They have more YouTubers promoting it for them for free, Instagrammers promoting it for free. They don't have to pay that. It's free marketing for them. So I really, really, really please, oh gosh, I really hope they remain free to play friendly. From what I've heard, their other game that has a global server, which is Dragon Raja, is not very free to play friendly. And I really hope, maybe since they're going against such a juggernaut that is Paper Games. Paper Games is huge and it has a fan following, it has a franchise. They're on their 4th Nikki game. Maybe since they're going against such a huge juggernaut trying to get a piece of that marketing pie, maybe they will toss more free-to-play stuff. I think it's very, very, very important. A free-to-play player base is super important to the health of the community, and I really hope that Archosaur will understand that and make sure it stays free-to-play friendly, as well as having, of course, having the pieces, the suits, stuff like that, that you have to pay for, so that, you know, keeps the lights on for them. So anyways, but we'll see. Early game, very free-to-play friendly. I've gotten so much. I've just enjoyed the heck out of it. In our next, where am I at? Oh, I gotta wrap this up. Our next video, I want to discuss the makeup, and I want to discuss the player customization, the avatar customization, and the dyeing. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And that's all available to you as a free-to-play player. So, and the stuff that you would normally in Nikki, you would have to pay so much money for, is just available here in this game. So, that doesn't mean I don't want you to think like, oh, she's going to quit playing Nikki. No, I love Nikki. I think they're comparable. But that's saying something. I'm saying that this game is comparable to Shining Nikki. Shining Nikki has so much money been invested in it. It is a well-loved IP, and they take very good care of it. Paper Games does, because it's very important to them. It makes their, it's their IP that makes them a lot of money. And I'm saying that Archosaur is making a game that's comparable. That's a lot. So there's some things that Shining Nikki is better at, and there's some things that Archosaur is already clearly better at. We're going to look at those in the future, but we're going to stop here. I just want to show you that there's a lot of the gameplay is very similar. It's just called something different, and it may look different, but you're going to know 65% of this game. Okay, we're going to wrap up. How much time have I got? I've really got to wrap up. Let's do it. With the big question, when are we going to get global launch? We don't know, but they are taking pre-registrations. I want to go look at the Archosaur global the web page for the global server. Okay, we're going to be quick. So just so you don't get confused, in the upper right hand corner it says select regions. If you click this, you have mainland China, Southeast Asia. These are the different servers that they are planning. The reason global is not on that list is because we're on the global web page. If you click one of those, it will take you to the web page for the mainland China server that they're working on, or take you to the Southeast Asia the page for the Southeast Asian server that they're working on, or go to the web page for the Japanese server that they're working on. So that's what the select region is on. These are the servers they're working on, the localizations they're working on. The reason global is not on the list is because we're actually on the global web page already. This is it. So you can't find this in the Play Store, but you can pre-register. If we click on, oops, no. Okay, so click on pre-register. Oh, no. Don't make noise. We're gonna have to get rid of this and come back because it's so loud. So loud. Oh, just realized we're hanging around on my phone there for a second. And here's my phone. Okay, click on pre-register. I'm running out of time. What have we got? Oh, come on, let's wrap it up. Pre-register. There, look at that nation. Look at all these nations to choose from. That's because it's the global server. It's very exciting. So they're definitely working on a global server. Put in your email and they will email you with information as it becomes available for when they're going to launch the global server, or what they're doing with the global server, any beta testing they might be doing for the global server. The global server has no information on it yet. This is the only information we have for the global server, and that is that they are pre-registering for it. So I will put the link to this website in the description. I'll put the link to my web page that will have those screenshots if you want to grab those for a background for your phone. And I've got to wrap this up. Oh my gosh, right at 30 minutes. All right, y'all have a great week, and I will talk to y'all later. All right, bye-bye.